At this very moment, a good portion of Am Yisrael is out there building their sukkah. And I thought I'd give a little guidance on how we can make that sukkah not just a place to hang out, but a vessel for real relationship. Let's not forget where we are in the calendar. We went through Elul, when the time of the king in the field, a time of intimacy and possibility, call it dating. And then in those 10 days of repentance, bracketed by Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, that dating became a relationship, signed and sealed for a covenant in the coming year. And now, right before we launch off into life together, we want to learn how to build a happy home. We take a little honeymoon in our sukkah. And it's made up of 3 things: walls of love, a shadow of faith above us, and filled with simcha. Each one deserves consideration in turn. So first, a word on love. Now, I'm not going to wax philosophical, nor am I going to sing you every bad pop song since the 50s, but I do want to say a word on what is love. You know, the great social psychologist Erich Fromm, who was also a scholar of Torah in his youth, had a very useful definition for what love is. He said it has 4 steps: care, responsibility, respect, and knowledge. Notice he ends the same place as the Nesher HaGadol, the great eagle, the Rambam, who says to know God is to love God, and that we come to love God through the contemplation of creation. Now, let's see if we can line them up in the whole process. Care, I think, is an easy one. If you don't care, the whole question of love never gets started. But beyond care lies responsibility. We take responsibility. We want to care for those we care about. But there's a challenge, a trap even, that I bet every parent listening to this now has felt, which is we expect those we care for to stay in their lane, right? Too much care and responsibility taken for another makes them into an object of our agency. And every parent knows that as soon as a child gets their own ideas about what they want to do, what's our first protest? Well, I'm responsible for what goes around here. Yeah, but that will never lead you to love. Really, it's the bridge between responsibility and respect that build the walls of the sukkah. It gives a vessel for right relationship that can allow for knowledge, which is true intimacy of relationship. Well, what do I mean? What's respect in this sense? It's the ability to see other as they really are, right? Not as a bit player in my movie, but as their own subject who exists beyond their relationship to me. And this is why we step outside our house and build a sukkah in order to know love of God. We get beyond the built environment, the world which is really a reflection of our own hands, and we see peeking through the walls of the sukkah, right? Shining through the gaps of the schach above us, the wonders of creation. We see God as creator and not as what God means to us. You know, there have to be 3 walls to a sukkah, right? Really, 2 and a hand's breadth. The minimum is 2 arms length and a hand's breadth. That makes an embrace. Getting out of our home and stepping into the sukkah is stepping into the embrace of creation with a minimal protection from the elements, in order that we should not just see God as God serves us in our environment, but that we should come to an intimacy of relationship in seeing God as God exists in the world around us. And of course, within the sukkah as well, you may have noticed everything you say and a lot of what you do is seen by those around you when you're in the sukkah. It's not a private space. That's because it's a testing ground to see if we can get beyond the need that those we love act the way we want, and we can truly come into encounter with them as they really are. That is what allows for knowledge. And like the Rambam says, to know is to love, whether that's true of those around us or those who surround us in their glory. Chag Sameach.